one more new business. Alright, this is exit 14. We have talked about exit 14 and development, and if you remember about a year and a half ago, I came to you all and said, I've got some good news for it. I think we'll have a way for we could develop it. And then a few months after that, I told you it fell through. We have a way right now to develop exit 14. And I wish I had more information to present in front of you, but this last phone call happened at 7 o'clock last night, so I'm limited on everything that I could present to you today, but I wanted to share it with you. This piece of blue highlighted property right here is what we call the Carter property. And I'm going to pull up and find it. This is a survey of it. It's Highway 64 across the front. If you've ever been out there on the Carter property and they've installed this Whiskey Way is what it's called, this driveway that goes up to the top side of the property, they have parceled it off to 3 different parcels. The front being a 30-acre tract and the back side back here being a 57 total acres. It also comes off of Bunker Hill. As you can see, has some road frontage there as well. In talking with the realtor for the Carter property, they are interested in selling this 57 acres to Giles County, and they would keep this 30 acres with the thoughts of a road would be built coming off of the bypass, coming across that piece of property back here to our property. And our 57 acres I would propose would be to build a sports complex. That is originally what we were looking at with the Rayburn property. Because of the location being on 65 and 64, attracting people, the lights that come with a ball complex would light up off that interstate so everybody can see. This property is next to the interstate as well, right here. And by the county buying, sorry, I don't talk this much usually. By the county buying this piece of property and building a park complex, I think we've talked before about what a ball complex would do to this community, the revenue that would be generated. I know I hate that Brad Butler's not here today because he and Greg Galloway worked with me a year and a half ago on ball complexes and what we would need in order to make it happen, because those are 2 parents that travel every single weekend with their kids just about out of state to go play ball somewhere. I know Brad had sent this one to me before that he had played at, so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. If you look right here, that's an interstate. You get 8 ball fields out there and the tournament travel fields. The amount of tourism dollars that comes in. But this is just one example of an idea of a concept of what it would look like for that piece of property. Again, that would bring it in on the front side, and that would also make Giles County become a sewer user. If you remember, the issue with putting a sewer plant out there has been the depreciation. And with wastewater, it has to pay for itself from day one. And so if we built a plant right now, we had the 5 customers on the front side of it, and that's it, the price of their sewer bill each month wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't. But that's the way the utilities are set up. So that 30 acres right here, if you're having traveling and you're coming back to where everybody that comes and plays ball has to come across that 30 acres, it opens it up tremendously to hotels, fast food, restaurants, everything. Those are your big sewer customers that are gonna come. Bill Young, sitting here, build it, they will come. He and I have argued many times that you don't build the wastewater plant and they come. You have to have people coming in order to build it. He'll tell you, we butt heads many times on this. But the ball complex will bring restaurants and hotels immediately with it. And this being the same owner. Now there are 3 owners on this piece of property. They are interested in selling. We've talked prices a little bit. I'll just tell you at this point in time, it's very, very reasonable, the price that they're asking per acre. I'll say it's less than what we just discussed for the ambulance property. Very reasonable. because they understand if we develop on the backside, that's gonna help their 30 acres on the front side. We would have to have a road built. The sewer would have to come down and cross the interstate at that point in time. That's something, we're very preliminary in the front sides. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked, a lot of numbers that need to be crunched. But for the first time with Exit 14, we have a viable option. As much as it pains me to say, if we build it, I think they will come. So this, at this point, like I said, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions I have. I have met with an engineering group. If you remember, when I first came into office, we had a Exit 14 committee. And we met and we looked at all the utilities and the land and met with every obstacle we could identify for developing the exit. And basically then got to COVID and got to the land being locked up, like I've told you all over and over again, and got stuck. So now we finally have land that is available. We have some water issues as well out here. They do have a fire hydrant up here on the back side of the front 30 acres. I have not ridden this. It's fairly flat. It's back 57 acres, but it is up on top. Again, we do have Bunker Hill Road frontage as well. But I did meet with an engineering group that was part of our original Exit 14 group. One of the gentlemen that was in that group was an engineer. And their firm does sports complexes, which I didn't even realize until the other day. So he has proposed to getting a group together from his firm to come down for a preliminary meeting to talk about could 57 acres and what this looks like. Does it make sense to put ball fields on there? Then get another engineer to look at the sewer and updating some estimates on what we got and how to get the sewer across the interstate. But basically, like I said, we're at preliminary talks of all of this, but in order for it to move forward, the owners of this property want to ensure if they sold it to us, that we would do something with it. And not just sell it like we've done with this other piece of property for years. Because if we're not gonna do something with it, they want to keep it and try to do something themselves with it. And I can understand that completely. So again, I don't know that I need a vote today, because I don't know what that would be, because we have a lot of issues. I guess if I could get a vote of, I don't know, confidence is the right word, but just a show of we are interested and we want to pursue this. Not tying down any money or anything today, but just to give me that I can go back to these property owners and say, yes, this is something Giles County is very interested in and they want me to pursue, getting the answers to these questions. I think that would be good.
Melissa, would you click on the aerial photo where you can get a reference of all the